and welcome to the Socially Isolated College Kids podcast. Your favorite movie podcast.
It is a movie
and
podcast.
my this week we're doing my favorite movie, so it's like a whole circle. It's this whole thing.
There's a circle. There's a circle motif in this movie, if you will.
Everything.
Wait, this is your favorite movie?
There sure is. There's a circle. It is my favorite movie. But as always, got the full cast here this week. We got Cameron.
It's not as always.
Zachy.
Hello.
Well, yeah, you're always here, and we've also got Blake.
That's Blakey. It's me.
Okay, cool. How are you guys doing this week?
Good. I got some Kool-Aid liquid.
What?
Holy shit! What?
Whoa!
It's like
what
what
do you mean?
it's like water flavoring, water enhancing, if you will.
Oh, like Mio?
Yeah, except it's called Kool-Aid liquid.
Mio
I don't
sucks.
know. Yeah. Mio is.
Suck.
What are you talking about? Mio is so
bad.
good. No, it's not.
Just drink water. Just drink
You
water.
also like Propel?
But why drink water when you can add flavor to it? Make water fun.
Water objectively tastes better than flavored water.
That's just not true. That's objectively
no,
not
I've
true.
learned to agree with
is.
Edison, actually.
No, water tastes better than flavored water. Flavored water it's fine, but it's not good.
It's pretty
Water
good.
almost always hits these days.
That's what I'm saying. I drink so much water.
Are we
I'm
so
just thirsty all the
cool
time.
because we drink all this water? We're just so look how
we drink
cool
all
we
this
are,
water.
guys.
I drink Diet Coke with every meal of the day, so...
Yeah, I slurp up the ocean with a straw.
But it would taste better objectively if you had water flavoring.
The ocean probably would. I would agree with that the ocean would taste better.
Ocean doesn't taste that good.
Yeah.
No, it's salty. See, I'm thinking we take a big old strainer, get all the salt out of the ocean.
I don't think that's how that works, but keep going.
No, it is though.
Okay.
It is though. And then you take a big old bottle of Mio, dump it in there. See what happens.
What flavor, though?
Okay.
Succeed?
I'm curious to see what color the ocean changes.
Well, it depends on the flavor of Mio, idiot.
I mean, I guess, but yeah.
Have you guys had the Propel bottle?
No, I know what you're talking
Yes,
about.
I have. Yeah.
I used to have those all the time. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, because
we had
flavor enhanced water is good. That's right.
Flavor enhanced.
We had those we had those flavored waters at our high school every once in a while. Remember those things? The strawberry ones?
Yes,
Wasn't
I do.
that?
I remember people having those. Yeah.
I love those.
Hold
Those
on.
are good.
Was that Propel?
No, I don't think it was like a brand that you would recognize. I
Oh,
think it was
okay.
just like
So you know what
I
would be
could be wrong, though. It
cool
might
is
have
if in water fountains they had the option to put Mio in
Or-
it. That'd be cool.
Or what about if with school lunches they didn't make us buy milk?
No, what if it was
so
like one of those
this is actually an
Coca-Cola
important
machines?
topic to talk about. Earlier this week, Blake brought up the fact that they make you get milk with your lunch, but you can't get water. You have to pay more, but you don't have to pay more for milk.
Yeah, I don't see the issue.
What do you mean?
I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah, for
Okay, I still don't see the issue. Just
And water's better than milk.
True.
have you tried tolerating the lactose?
I haven't
Wow.
actually tried tolerant.
See,
I should
that's
try.
that's the issue.
it's just very strange. I don't know. I wouldn't have.
'Cause-
I don't know. I wouldn't drink chocolate milk if I wasn't forced to. Yeah.
See, but
Yeah, I don't think.
chocolate milk is so good.
isn't all
Chocolate
isn't
milk,
all
it is
liquid
good.
just flavored water? Really?
No,
Really, it is.
no,
Really.
I'm gonna disagree.
How? Everything is
Isn't
technically
everything
flavored
just flavored water?
Yeah, if you strain everything else out of like the liquid,
Can we strain
it's
Zach?
just water. Yeah, true.
Wait, I'm being strained now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're being constrained.
Sip, sip.
No more talking. No more talking for you, Zach.
Insane
Aye.
in the brain. Insane
Insane
in the membrane. Insane in the brain.
Gonna get his copyright struck in.
Sorry,
Sing it a little worse, maybe.
can't. You know I can't sing
that
poorly.
Oh, my bad. Well,
Well.
I'm gonna move on to the movie news section. Why not? Yeah.
Favorite
Oh my god,
section.
it's everyone's favorite section.
Everybody's
Everybody's
favorite
a
section.
section.
Everyone's favorite.
it's
One.
everyone's favorite
Everyone's
section.
favorite section.
I know. Blake, you weren't on last week. We want to get you a section. Because everybody else has a section. We'll figure it out though. But movie news. So a couple of days ago, Marvel, it was yesterday, Marvel
A couple days ago.
put out yesterday, this like trailer type thing, kind of showcasing the past and the future of the MCU. I don't exactly know what it was, but it moved forward and showed some clips for some new things. We saw a little bit of new footage, I think, from Black Widow, from Shang-Chi, from the Eternals. We saw a first look at that. And I think those were the only three we saw video of. But then it went on and it named the titles of some upcoming ones, including Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which is no longer Black Panther Summer Break.
I don't know why they changed it. It was perfect.
It literally, they had a working title for 1 week.
Well, that's why.
They had a working title for 1 week.
That's why it's a working title. They're working on it.
I guess so. They really were. I just feel like don't announce it, you know? Whatever. So Captain Marvel 2 is called The Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
And that has what's her name from WandaVision in it?
The Mutant.
Yeah, her. Also Ant-Man Quantumania, which I think they had already announced.
Yep.
What a great title.
But that one is right. And then the best title that they announced of all of them, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's the same.
Yeah.
Do you know the rumor behind the title for it?
What's that?
So there's this theory that it's like the color of the font. Each movie represents who dies in that movie.
Oh, yo.
So it was like the first movie, it was this color because it was Groot. And then the second movie, it was this color because of Yondu. And in this movie, they're saying that it's going to be Rocket because it's silver.
They better not kill Rocket.
I'm gonna go look.
It's something like that.
That'd be so sad. It could happen, though. I do see that happening. Like, if they were going to kill a character...
It would make the most sense to kill off Rocket.
Yeah.
I like Rocket too
sad,
much.
though.
I'd be sad.
The Volume 3, though, is yellow.
Yes.
So it's not the volume, it's the...
I think it's the... I could be totally wrong, but it was just a...
The Guardians of the Galaxy title is silver.
Yeah, okay.
And then the Volume 3 is yellow. I guess we'll see. Maybe none of them will die. Maybe it's just made up. Kevin Feige came out and said a couple of things about Eternals, the movie directed by Chloe Zhao.
Who recently won for the Academy Award.
Yes, she sure did. And with that, Kevin Feige said that this is Marvel's most ambitious film to date. Kevin Feige also said that it could win a Best Picture Oscar.
What?
The executives are, in quotes, this is what he said, they are in shock by how good it is.
Wow,
The director, Chloe Zhao, built huge sets on location instead of using a ton of CGI. She uses minimal CGI, probably for like fighting or whatever. I don't know much about the Eternals. The action is inspired by The Revenant, Chloe Zhao said, and the story spans 7,000 years.
Ooh.
So I'm really interested in what this film is going to be because they're really hyping it up a lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
Has a superhero
I don't know
movie
anything about the
ever
Eternals.
won Best Picture?
No.
This is going to be huge if it does.
Right. So he said it's nominated. I mean, it didn't win Best Picture, but there have been some superhero movies that have won different awards.
Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture, I think. And so was Black Panther was, and I think Joker was too.
Yep.
Oh, Joker, I'm sure was, yeah, but it didn't win. So today, May 4th, revealing our little secret of when we record these things. Today's May 4th. Happy Star Wars Day.
Happy Star Wars Week.
Yeah.
Happy Star Wars Week. May the 4th be with you. Revenge of the 5th.
What's your guys' favorite Star Wars character?
Ooh.
Blake, who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Boba Fett.
Jar Jar Binks.
Stop.
My favorite Star Wars character is Jar Jar.
Why?
Wait,
How?
Who's the creepy blob
My
guy?
favorite character is Jar Jar.
The creepy
What's that?
blob guy. He's like saggy.
Jabba
He's saggy
Jabba
looking.
the Hutt.
Oh, Jabba.
Jabba.
That's it. So we got one Jabba, two Jar Jars.
That's the worst list of all time. God damn.
But Boba Fett.
So bad.
Boba Fett. I'm carrying you guys. Boba Fett's
Boba
amazing.
Fett's overrated.
Boba Fett.
He's really...
Boba Fett is
he's
overrated.
really not.
The only thing he's ever been cool in
overrated.
is The Mandalorian.
He's
Boba Fett in the original movies,
comics.
he's like barely in it, and then he like gets fucking. Oh, I can't. Can I say that on the podcast? He just gets
You do
killed
all the time, Zach.
I mean, he's really cool in the
he gets
comics.
bored.
Actually, I take it back. My favorite people are the ones who play da 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 in like the place.
In the band.
Yeah, I've
my favorite.
Wait, isn't the genre of music that called jizz?
It is called
jizz.
I thought so.
Yeah. Name it anything else.
George
I think George Lucas like officially named it that.
He did.
Why did he
and
do
I can't
that?
believe it. I don't know. My favorite Star Wars character is the friends we made along the way. Speaking of, well, it's a maybe let me use it as a what is it called?
Segue.
Segue. That's the word. Because Star Wars: The Bad Batch, couple of friends, couple of best buds.
A bad batch, if you will.
Released today. A Bad Batch released today. I haven't watched it. Critically, did pretty well. I don't know. 2 episodes are out, I think.
I think so.
I'll watch it sometime. It's related to the Clone Wars in some way, the TV show.
Mm-hmm. I think it's after the events of Clone Wars. I think. Could be wrong.
Sure. Couldn't tell you.
I also found out what
know.
the musicians are called that perform jizz. They are jizz wailers.
What?
Oh.
According to the Wikipedia.
Cutting that out of the podcast.
God.
I don't think we're allowed to say that.
Leave it in. Leave it
in. So Andrew Garfield came out today and said that like he was adamant that he's not in this new Spider-Man movie.
He's in it.
Could be lying. He could be lying.
Dude,
I don't know.
they saw his stunt double on set.
Right. He was like adamant though. I don't have the full quote, but he was like, oh man, it was weird. He was mad. Not mad, but anyway.
If
so
he's not in it, I'm gonna be sad because he's my guy.
I'd be okay if he wasn't in it.
Cameron,
I would be sad just because it would be so cool to have them all.
Yeah.
Like, and if you just do Tobey Maguire, it'd be like kind of weird, I think.
Yeah. Plus, they got Jamie Foxx.
Oh yeah. Duh.
Which is like Andrew Garfield's bad guy, and they have they have
so that wouldn't even
Tobey
make sense,
Maguire's
would it?
bad guy. So.
Huh. Yeah.
We'll
there's
see.
no
I
way
guess
that he's not lying. Another Kevin Feige thing came out. Doctor Strange was supposed to be in WandaVision. Those commercials in the middle of the episodes was supposed to be him trying to reach her. But heading towards the end of the show, they didn't want Doctor Strange to upstage Wanda and make it about him. Which I agree with. I don't know. I'm a little torn on that decision because I feel like I definitely know what they're saying and I understand why they did it, but I also think that they should have just taken out the commercial thing because it was a little weird.
I mean, I think the commercials could have been. I think they could have tied in the commercials without having it be Doctor Strange. Somehow.
True. They could have just done it like and explained it in any way.
Or maybe they'll explain it in the Doctor Strange movie.
Maybe.
But probably not.
That'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, I doubt they will because maybe. I think that they're trying to run on the assumption that people who are watching the movies have not seen the TV shows. So I think that they wouldn't do that, but I don't know for sure that they wouldn't make like an offhanded comment, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Elizabeth Olsen in Wanda news has been cast as Candy Montgomery in HBO Max's limited series Love and Death. And it follows her. It's the story of her who killed her friend with an axe. And that is the entire synopsis.
Chris Evans did it.
It
was Chris Evans.
It was Chris Evans.
The whole time. It was a plot twist.
You can't say that. You can't say that. We didn't even get into spoilers yet.
What about? How do you know I was talking about the movie?
Well, we do now. Great going, guys.
God damn it! Cut it out.
Good job, guys.
Spoilers.
I know. That's fine. I might cut that out, but also, whatever. So Keke Palmer, Daniel Kaluuya, and Stephen Yeun are all going to be in Jordan Peele's newest film, which is exciting because I like all 3 of them a whole lot. Daniel Kaluuya is the guy that is Jordan Peele's like main go-to.
Yep.
Get Out. He was in Judas and the Black Messiah, a movie Blake knows a lot about. Stephen Yeun. Stephen Yeun is the main voice actor in the hit TV show Invincible. Great show. We can talk about that a little bit.
Love Invincible.
If you want. I know Cameron and I have both. Oh my God, it was so good. And Keke Palmer what is she in? Does anybody know?
No.
Name sounds familiar.
No.
She on True Jackson VP?
From.
She
was? Yes, she absolutely was, but there's no way you didn't just look that up.
No,
so,
I actually knew that. The one thing,
really?
the one thing I know.
So funny. That's so funny. I don't know. I know her, but I don't know what from.
Yeah.
Not that, I think. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's a good show. Sorry, go on.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, maybe I'll check it out, but I won't. Donald Glover went on Twitter and tweeted out like a voice memo of him saying that he's going to be directing a trilogy of films and then immediately deleted it.
Nice.
That's exactly what I think. I think there's almost no way that it's not a Star Wars trilogy. Maybe around Lando? Maybe.
How many more Star Wars movies?
Star Wars trilogy.
That's gonna be good.
Well.
That's a lot of trilogies. I don't know. Could be
There's a lot of trilogies. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, they're finished with the main, Star Wars films. So maybe they're just trying to line up a ton of different things. And last bit of news, speaking of Donald Glover, he said that Atlanta, the third season, will probably release in the beginning of 2022, which is exciting because that is a great show. And that is it. That is all of Edison's movie news.
Yay.
Podcast part.
Let's go.
See you guys next week.
That's right.
That's the end of the podcast.
I'm so excited to talk about this movie. It's so good. It's so good. Is there anything else we should say before we get into
spoilers? Because this movie is full of twists
spoilers.
And turns like a corn maze.
Yeah, you don't want to... It really is. You don't want to know the spoilers if you have not seen this movie, and it's so good. Please watch this movie. Please watch it. But anyway, Zachy, you know what time it is.
Yeah, right, my favorite part.
Go.
Give us the synopsis.
Edison.
Thank you, Blake.
I feel like Blake says this every time. So mean.
So, Knives Out, right? A film, a movie, directed by Rian Johnson, who has directed such acclaimed films as Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Oh, God.
Criminally underrated movie.
I agree. Maybe we'll talk about that at some point. Anyway, we follow the story of this family who's kind of this like eccentric, like it's quite the cast of characters we have in this movie. Very, very interesting characters, and basically the head of the family. I don't remember any of their names, by the way. The head of the family, Marlon Throbbey.
Marlon Throbs.
No. Harlan, yeah, that's right.
Marlon
Calvin and
Throbs.
Hobbes. No, Harlan Throbbey.
Christopher Plummer, rest in peace, that actor. His character is found dead, and a kind of classic murder mystery unfolds kind of through the eyes of Christopher Plummer's character's caretaker, Marta. Her name's Marta, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Marta Cabrera, yes.
And a whole bunch of stuff happens. And also Daniel Craig plays the...
Probably the best
so
character
good.
of the movie is Daniel Craig's.
The best character that's ever been written.
What about Fred Hampton?
What?
Who's that?
From real life, Fred Hampton?
Judas and the Black Messiah.
I mean, I guess that's a real person, Blake.
Yeah, like the activist?
Yeah, from the Black Panther Party.
Sorry, I'm talking about Judas and the Black Messiah. Sorry,
cool.
wrong movie.
I actually thought he was good in this movie.
Good job, Blake.
That guy.
Daniel Craig? He was incredible.
No, the other one.
The police officer.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand the joke now.
The actor
okay.
who played Ed Hampton.
Yeah, okay. See, I thought you were just saying that for no reason. I was like, what are you talking about?
No, he's in the movie.
Yeah,
he is in the movie. He's good.
In the movie.
He does a good job. I just want to say every character in this movie is just acted so well. There is such a great, like, diverse cast of so many different opinions and characters.
Is anybody in this movie bad? You guys think?
Like the kid, probably the right wing kid that was in the bathroom the whole time.
He didn't have any time to speak.
He wasn't bad.
He didn't have any time to speak.
Exactly what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
He delivered his line pretty strong.
Yeah, he didn't have very many, so.
Maybe the fire chief. I don't know.
How did I not know that Jogo was in this?
I feel like that's something you would know.
Who was Jogo? It says Detective Harris. I don't know who that is.
It's the guy who's like nerding out the whole time.
That was Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Wait, what?
No.
But that was that was Harris.
Gordon-Levitt's not in this movie.
It says he is.
What?
Hold on.
No.
Okay.
No.
Let me look this up.
Anyway, yeah. So Marvin Throbs dies.
Detective Hard Rock. That's who Jogo plays. Yeah, that has to be the detective. Not the detective.
No, it's not, though. That's not Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Are you sure? Well, you've seen this movie 8 times. I feel like...
That's what I'm saying. Joseph Gordon-Levitt has a hidden cameo in Knives Out. This is
okay.
What? There's no way.
Character, interesting. Where is it? Oh, it's completely auditory.
Oh.
Why?
I don't know. Anyway... Sorry to completely derail our conversation.
Glad we got that out of the way.
I was just confused by Jogo.
Zach, keep going with that 6 synopsis, my guy.
That's right.
Well, I don't. Do you want me to give away all the
it's kind of hard. That's right. It's kind of hard to talk about like a synopsis because that's all you can know without ruining the movie. So I have personally seen this movie, I don't know, a lot of times. And every single time you watch this movie, you notice something different that kind of is explained at the end, but you wouldn't have noticed the first time or even the second or third time. And the way this movie is shot is so fun and so interesting and so, it's so much like a game of Clue. And obviously that's kind of what they were going after. I mean, there's even lines about it, right? But it's so perfectly done. And I really love this movie so much.
So I have a question for the group here. Who got the twist at the end that it's revealed? Are we going into this territory now? Or
we can just spoilers.
Spoilers
for the end of the movie. We kind of already said it though. So.
Chris Evans is revealed to be he has a hand in the murder of his grandfather.
Who saw it coming?
He murdered him.
Who saw it coming?
Yeah, who did? I saw it coming in about the first 10 minutes.
See, I saw this movie 2 years ago, so I don't remember if I did or not. For the first time, that is.
Blake, did you know that was going to be Chris Evans?
I did, but it was also one of those things where it seemed so obvious that I wanted to, like, rule it out, but, like, I don't know, I kept it in the back of my head. Like, when it came up, I was like, oh, like, that makes sense.
Yeah. They did a great job of, like, making it so obvious, but then the rest of the movie, you're like, maybe it's not him. But it was so blaringly obvious.
You see, right, exactly. And then you're questioning yourself the whole time because about halfway into this film, I've watched a lot of videos on this, but Rian Johnson does this thing where he has Daniel Craig flip a coin. And on the coin flip, it switches genres from a detective story to like a criminal story because you learn that Marta actually flipped the vials and accidentally gave Harlan, what did you call him, Zach?
Marlon Throbs.
Marvin Throbs.
Maybe we should not call him Marvin Throbs.
I like it.
Oh yeah, I guess I'll call him his real name, I guess. So she accidentally switches the vials and gives him the wrong drug.
But she actually didn't.
Well, yeah, but that you don't learn until the end.
Yeah, but yeah.
She switches the vials, and then Harlan comes up with this whole plan, and he kills himself and gets her out of there so that she does not have any blame on her, is the general idea. So about halfway into this film, instead of it being a detective mystery, it turns into her running from the fact that she inadvertently caused his murder. So then you do think that Chris Evans did it at the beginning, and then you see that happen, and you're like, oh, wait. No, he didn't, right? And then they do another twist again, and he did because he flipped the labels on the vials, and she flipped the vials, so she didn't do anything. It's like, oh man, I don't even know. There's so many complicated twists and turns.
In a way, it's not like a traditional murder mystery, I feel, because I feel like in a traditional murder mystery, it's kind of like they kind of try to like make you think that like different members of the family did it, but really I feel like this movie was more about kind of Marta and Chris Evans, and like I didn't really suspect any of the members of the family too highly, personally.
Yeah, me either. Right, because they weren't ever really positioned in a way that they seemed like they did do it.
Yeah, no.
They're like their characters are shown throughout the movie to just be bad people overall. They all are terrible people, but you never think that they killed him.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of our favorite characters.
That's a great idea because this has a very, very huge cast of characters, all very different, all very fun. I love Daniel Craig's Benoit Blanc. He's so funny, and the southern accent that he does is hilarious.
Oh, it's amazing! It's so over the top,
right?
Like it's perfect.
It's so perfect. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard. And every time he'll say like these stupid little catchphrases, and God, it's so funny. Like the donut line.
Well, he talked about donuts for like 10
which is a whole other motif.
Right.
There's like a hole in the donut,
but
then there's a donut hole in the whole donut.
Oh
hole.
no! Stop.
But the donut hole isn't a donut.
Let's just do this for the next hour.
Of itself,
that's right.
Is a donut.
Oh,
because then there's the talk about he rambles on about this stupid donut for about 5 minutes. And then there's the whole, because they always do this in the murder mystery where the detective blows the case wide open, reveals everything. And Chris Evans, Edison, you had mentioned this earlier, the cinematography in this movie is phenomenal.
It's so good.
And what they do is they rotate like in and out who's at the center of the circle of knives, which is really cool.
Right.
And, at the end of that, Chris Evans is like, oh, if I'm going to jail, I might as well kill her so she doesn't get the inheritance.
Right.
Marta, because she gets the inheritance and the family's like, this is stupid.
Right.
She should be deported.
Right, because they're all racist and bad.
Yeah. So then, he takes a knife off the thing and stabs her, but it's a fake knife, which was teased at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Or I guess it was more towards the middle, because Harlan is talking. There was a scene between the night of his murder or his suicide.
Yeah, it was kind of.
There's a scene between Harlan and Marta. And he brings up the knife and he's like, sometimes you can't tell what's fake and what's the real thing.
Right, talking about
so let's reveal that. Yeah, but it was cool. Very, very.
Yeah, there are so many like incredible motifs and like interesting things to look at throughout the whole film. We didn't do the full character. We didn't go around though. I just said mine, and then Zach, what's yours?
My favorite characters. I think Marta and the actress who plays that character, excellent job. I feel like really, really good. And I really like her. I really like Daniel Craig. I like Chris Evans as an actor, and I wish he was in more movies, but I feel like, honestly, of everyone, he's probably my weakest link, personally.
Yeah, he's also in it the least, I think.
Yeah. He shows up like an hour into it, like fully.
Yeah.
And like I feel like his character kind of calls for like a little bit more. I feel like he kind of plays that character like it's just like Chris Evans. Like Chris Evans plays Chris Evans, which is fine because I like, Chris Evans is likable and, it's good and he's a good actor. But like, I feel like if you took more of like a character actor approach to it and was a little bit more like eccentric and like I don't know. I just feel like his kind of style just in how he approaches roles in most movies, like, I don't know.
Right.
I wish it was something a little bit more creative, I think.
I know what you mean. I do have to say, though, the casting there is such an interesting choice because this came out right after Avengers Endgame, like the fall of that year.
Yeah.
It was like Thanksgiving time. And obviously Chris Evans is one of the biggest names in the world, right? And you think of him, you immediately think of Hero, right? And I can't think of a film where he played the villain ever before. I'm sure he had in like smaller movies or beforehand.
And Scott Pilgrim when he's like one of the guys.
Oh, that's true. He is one of the, but not like even the main.
I would argue he's a villain of American Pie, but I see your point.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
He's covered in whipped cream. It's really weird.
That is weird.
Sounds
But
great.
my immediate two roles I think for him are Snowpiercer and Captain America. Both being like the heroic hero in two very different ways. Snowpiercer is a good movie. We should put that on the list. So you immediately like associate Chris Evans with hero, and you wouldn't think he would do anything wrong. So to cast one of the most heroic and like trustworthy people in the entire world as the villain of your story is such a great choice, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a good twist for sure to have Chris Evans be the bad guy.
Yeah, I definitely do think they alluded to it a little bit too early. That's my one qualm with the movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
Is that right at the beginning, the dogs bark at him the first time you see him, and that gives it away, I think. And nothing else would have. I think if that didn't happen, it would have been like a little bit more of a wait, but maybe he is. But the dogs barking at him, which is something they mentioned later on in the film about. Daniel Craig says something about dogs being the best judge of characters. The dogs bark at Chris Evans, and that kind of gives it away to me, I think. And that would be my like one qualm with the story beats of this entire film.
Yeah, I don't know if I really ever bought that Chris Evans was like actually trying to help Marta.
Yeah, same.
Right.
Yeah, I never did.
I know what you mean.
Because I think it's tough because like it's an interesting choice to try and because you establish him right away that he is definitely at least in my opinion he was already suspect one because he didn't show up to the funeral.
Right.
So like he's obviously doing something that he doesn't want the family to know about, and it's really tough to try and I think the movie does a good job of trying to like allude to maybe he's not the bad guy. I think they hint at it too much for the little screen time that his character has.
Yeah, because it's not a problem to give him little screen time, you know. But they definitely do just a little too much. Like it's just over that line, I think.
Yeah.
And they do. I do have to say the entire beginning of the film kind of shows that Harlan Thrombey was cutting off all of the members of the family from their different inheritances, I guess. So it gives motive, right, to all of the different members of the family. But the only one that we really see have like a fight is Ransom and Harlan. So that's another pretty big indicator, I guess.
Yeah.
Blake, who is your favorite character?
Well, I'm not sure what I want to say about like the characters. I think one of like the best parts about this movie is that I feel like they do a good job where you're rooting for both Marta and the detective Daniel Craig. So like so whenever there are scenes of either one, like I feel like I'm rooting for both of them, even though they're kind of paired against each other for like a majority of the movie. So I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, they do make the family quite unlikable, but also entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because I like them, but I like them because I don't like them, you know?
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed that I really like is that every time they introduce Marta, the members of the family, they introduce her as being from a different country.
Isn't it like,
I don't remember what they are.
I think it's isn't it every time it's like a different, right? That's what you said?
Yeah, it's a different country.
Because they keep saying like Uruguay, I think is one of them. I think that's what Richard says.
Yeah, and like Guatemala. There are a couple different ones. It happens a couple different times. But it's like subtle things like that kind of establish these characters as like subtle racists, you know? Because it's during modern day. There's a whole like allusion to a fight about politics, about Trump particularly. And there's so many moments in this film that just like subtly alludes to different character traits that you then see kind of start to grow and get bigger and bigger as they get more upset with her. Right? Like at the beginning of the film, they're like, we're going to take care of you. Don't worry. And by the end of the film, they're threatening to deport her mom, you know? Like that's it's a really interesting growth. And Cameron, I think that you are the only one who hasn't said a favorite character, right? Or maybe Zach, did you not either?
I did.
I think Zach went. I want to go last because mine's the same as yours, Daniel Craig.
Okay.
He has such a unique character because he's sort of like I would argue probably the most sane of the bunch. if not Marta. I think he's almost like sort of like a moral compass. Because he's weird in his own right, because he's more subtly flamboyant. He doesn't want to say he's dramatic, but he definitely is in the way he presents himself.
Absolutely.
Because I would say he's similar to the family in his dramatization of the whole thing. Because at the start of the movie, where the cops are interviewing the 3 family members, you don't know, you just see this guy in the back, and then every so often he hits the piano, which is
right, and he's silhouetted, right? Like, you can't really see who it is.
And that whole scene is great because you don't know who he is talking to, because he'll say something, a character will say something, Daniel Craig will respond, but then it cuts to another character, so you don't know who he said that to, which is pretty cool.
It's kind of fluid and in and out, and you don't really know what's happening. Yeah. And that's another great casting choice, because Daniel Craig's character, I think until the end of the movie, he's kind of characterized as a little bit of a bumbling idiot, right?
Yeah.
Until you find out that he actually knew what he was doing the entire time.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
Right.
Marta has that passing comment.
Right, exactly. He notices that there was blood on Marta's shoe at the very, very beginning, and that's why he kept bringing her around. But he's throughout just like doing dumb stuff. And again, another great casting choice is they cast Daniel Craig, or James Bond, one of the smartest men in the world is the idea, right, from those films. So I just think, like, overall, they just did such a great job with subversion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you have anything to say?
Well, casting was good. I don't know. I think, everyone, that's what I have to say to that, I guess.
Okay. I'll talk. I keep talking, so I'm trying to not take over the entire thing. But there was one scene that I watched a 40-minute video on by Ryan Johnson. The scene when Ransom kind of first shows up right before they read the will. They are all in a room, and they're kind of fighting. And the way that they had to establish the shooting of this scene was, so for anybody that hasn't seen the movie, I don't know why you're still listening. This is the part right before they read the will, and a lot of the family really hates Ransom. His parents don't, but they do a little bit, and everybody else does. So Ransom shows up, not for the funeral, but he does for the will reading. For reasons that you then find out later on. But he is going around and kind of fighting with all of the different characters and kind of bringing up a struggle in between all of them, because that's what he wants to do. And so the way that they had to shoot this, because there are, I want to say 10 or 11 characters all in one room in different spots, they had to shoot from each character from like 4 or 5 different angles with their eyes facing different ways, so that they could use shots where it made sense that the eyes would be looking at the right character, even if they weren't really looking where the character would be, because they needed to establish where each character was in the room. I can't remember exactly all of the in-depth details of it, but, well, anyway, it was a 40-minute video, and he's talking about how they needed to shoot everything more than once, right, to get this direct eye contact with each character, which is something you would never even think about being a difficult thing, but I think they said it took them, like, 3 weeks just to get these shots of them looking at each other, so that it made sense.
I feel like, I guess I can see how that does. It doesn't really seem like an issue, because, like, why wouldn't you just have the actor there? Why wouldn't you just have the person that they're talking to stand behind the camera in that spot?
Because then the idea was that when they were doing that is they were all in a room that wasn't big enough for all of them, I think, or they were all in the room. But when that was happening, they first shot it, and then it didn't look like they were looking in the right direction because of where the cameras were. And so it's such a small detail that they had to take so much time on. And I think that there are so many things throughout this movie that are shot so well. And I'm sure there are things that I have no idea about that they had to spend so much time on just to make it make sense, in a very interesting way. Because it's a very huge, like, ensemble movie, Yeah. We don't have a lot to say about this movie, do we? It's a hard movie to talk about.
I found this movie to be very watchable.
Yeah.
I would definitely watch this movie again. As
I would sit back.
Probably some of the
wow.
more, probably a higher rewatchability compared to the other movies we've watched thus far.
this movie has incredible rewatch value because every time I have never watched it. I've watched it a lot of times and I've never watched it without noticing something new. It's really awesome.
The one other thing I realized is something I picked up on. I knew they were going to bring the recording back because they had brought that up in one of the first scenes when they start interviewing the family. The one cop puts his phone down and he says, "We're going to record this for." I think he says something along the lines of "for simplicity's sake." I think it's something like that.
Right.
I knew they were going to go back to that because they kept the camera on the phone too long. Because it could have been totally could have been something where it was more of a if they had brought the camera back to have everyone in the shot and then just have him putting the phone down. But the fact that they put the camera on the phone, showing him put it down, and then focusing on the phone for like a couple seconds, it gives it a sense of importance to the film. You know it's going to come back. Right. Why else would they do this? And it's revealed that at the end, when Chris Evans' character goes on this whole rant, confessing to murdering this other character, the one cop pulls his phone out and he happens to be recording it.
Mm-hmm. Right, so they get him caught for like by doing that. One thing that came out of this movie is Rian Johnson came out and said that so you, the general you, as you're watching movies, I don't want to ruin it because this may ruin movies for you a little bit, but Apple has a deal within their movies, or within products like in other movies. So if an Apple product is in a movie, a villain cannot use an Apple product, but anybody else can. And this came out with this movie. This is how people found out about this. So almost every character, if not every character, except for Ransom, uses an Apple iPhone at some point. And you cannot let the villain, because that's like what they don't want that, that connection, whatever, marketing, I guess. You cannot have the villain use an Apple phone. So almost everybody in this movie uses an Apple phone except for Ransom. And that's one of the ways you can tell. And that's one of the ways.
Marta doesn't use an iPhone.
Well, I think that is probably, they did that on purpose, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's something that came out. Rian Johnson said that. That's something that came out with this movie. So, and that's true of all movies, right? So if you ever see any movies with iPhones in it and you see a character using an iPhone, they're not the villain.
I don't know why Apple thinks that's such a, no, I don't think anyone cares.
I don't think anyone cares either.
I genuinely think nobody cares.
Right. You think like cool villains, like James Bond villains, wouldn't you want them to have an iPhone, It
would make the most sense because it's more of like they're flaunting their wealth.
Yeah.
They can afford.
Right, exactly. I think
iPhone.
They just don't want that like brand association, I guess.
Got
to stay on top of it somehow.
Isn't it sort of like the theatrical thing where it's the villain always enters left to right, never right to left?
Right.
I thought there was something like that.
Same type of thing, yeah. So that was something I learned while looking into this movie a little bit, and I thought that was really interesting. And hopefully that doesn't ruin movies for you. I try not to think about it when I'm watching movies, but then that sometimes makes me think of it. So, but how many murder mystery movies am I really watching? Not that many.
I've seen at least 2. Clue.
Yeah, I've seen this one. I've seen Clue.
This one and Clue.
Yeah, Clue.
I'll tell you what. None of them had iPhones.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Clue was before iPhones. You've never seen Clue, Blake?
No, this was my first murder mystery.
Clue's actually pretty good.
Okay, so how do you feel about the murder mystery genre then? If this is the first one you've ever seen,
I think it's so freaking cool. I used to read. Well, when I would read as a kid, I would read like murder mystery books and stuff because I think that's really cool. And in a movie format, all these plot twists and everything, it plays off really well. It's exciting to watch. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely watch it again. And that says a lot for what I've said in the past on this podcast.
Right. Seriously. Yeah, I think that it must be difficult to bring a murder mystery to life in film, but this movie does it so well. It's just it's so good.
Yeah.
I don't know that there are many murder mystery movies, or at least ones that are good enough to be known, but I would love to watch more because I do really like the genre overall.
Yeah,
there's a literal movie called Murder Mystery, if that helps.
Aren't there going to be a bunch more Knives Out?
Yeah, at least
movies?
2 more. Yeah, so
Now, are they going to do it like anthology style, where it's a different murder mystery, or is it going to be the same characters?
No, so the
Edison.
only what's that?
What about Murder on the Orient Express?
Oh, I've watched that one. That one's okay.
Yeah.
That one I already knew though because that one's
yeah.
a double movie. So
Yeah.
I'd seen the new one, but I'd never seen the old one. But anyway, back to Knives Out sequels. What the idea is that it follows Daniel Craig's character. So Daniel Craig is going to be going around solving different murders, right? So he is the only link in these movies.
Ooh, that's
cool.
exciting.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously there might be
cool.
like an appearance from Marta in the second
Knives
one.
Out
but
cinematic universe.
That's right, the N, the KCU.
Oh no.
Bad Times at El Royale. It's another one.
Oh, you're looking at list a couple of these. So Murder on the Orient Express.
The
That's a
Happy
good one. We
Time
should watch
Murders.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
No Sesame, All Street. That's the tagline.
Oh, is that the
That's the Muppet one.
Muppet one.
Yeah.
I'm not watching that
movie. Jigsaw, I guess.
So didn't Jigsaw do it?
Happy
guess?
Happy Death. No, because he's dead in that movie.
Oh, okay.
The Jigsaw Killer is a mantle that they take up. Spiral, which is coming out, I think, next year. That's with Chris Rock.
I feel like the Saw movies are not murder mystery movies. I'll say it.
No, the Saw movies, that's what they call in the biz torture porn. That's what that's called. But Jigsaw and Spiral, you could argue, because there are murder mystery elements to it. It doesn't focus fully on the traps.
Okay.
Happy Death Day, I guess. But yeah, there's all these movies are like no one's watching these ones.
Yeah, I know. You should put Murder on the Orient Express on the wheel as well. That's a good one. I've only seen the new one. I don't know if the old one's good, and it's also a book. But we should put the new one on there. I enjoyed it. You know, it's kind of dumb. The story is a little bit, but the book that's how the book's written. So
yeah,
you know, what are you gonna?
Who knows?
I think that it's really hard. Clue is a good one.
I think Clue's
a good one though because yeah, it is, and also Clue has like 6 different endings, right? Maybe just 3, but
I think it's 3. I think the movie has 3.
3 or 4. Yeah. So that was something that's really interesting.
Mm.
And I would love to see more movies like that. I can't think of a single movie that's done different endings since Clue. You know?
Yeah, no.
Dude, a movie with multiple endings?
Yeah.
That'd be pog. Depending on
saying.
like they could randomize it for your theater.
I think that's what
so
they did in
cool.
the theater in Clue.
That's cool.
When you watch it on DVD, it just plays all 4 of them in succession.
Butterfly Effect, I guess
strange.
Little Shop of Horrors, according to Google. I Am Legend, that has an alternate ending. But
this is movies with alternate endings?
They're all...
Well, there's a million movies that have alternate endings.
Yeah, but there's a literal movie called Alternate Endings.
That's so dumb. I think that Knives Out, the sequels might do that. I think that maybe they won't because it's kind of a bit of a cheap out. Mm-hmm. It's a cool idea, but if you have one certain ending, it feels a little more final. You know, it feels more interesting, I think. But it would be cool to see something like that, especially because they got $450 million to make these movies.
Oh, dang.
The same cost as the Lord of the Rings Season 1 TV show. That's the same budget they're working on, if that puts any perspective.
Oh, yeah, that's plenty of money.
Plenty of money.
Plenty of money.
It's shot in Greece. I'm excited for that, though. There's a lot of details in this movie, and not a lot that you can talk about because it wouldn't make sense unless we did a shot-by-shot retelling of the movie.
Yeah,
and I don't want to do that.
No one wants to
also
listen to
leaving
that.
some nuances. That's fun. Leaving some nuances for you to find on your own. I think that's
absolutely
fun.
So
I like the house.
House is
the
really
house is
cool.
great. The house
Sick
is
house.
actually the house is only 30 minutes from my college that they shot.
That's
Dude.
really cool.
Yeah.
And
It's in
you guys
Natick.
can't tell, but we're actually recording this podcast from in that house right now.
That's right,
Yep.
except for me.
I'm in the trick window right now.
That's right. The trick window. Yeah, it's
it
Natick,
closed?
Massachusetts is the house that they shot that in.
It seems like a murder mystery would be filmed in Massachusetts. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, right? And the next one's in Greece. But I kind of want to, because you can go see it. I'm gonna go see it sometime. I don't know that you can go inside though.
Hmm.
But how cool! I'll send a
That is
picture.
cool.
I'll send a picture to you guys if I ever end up going, because it really is pretty
For sure,
close.
for sure.
We'll post it on the Instagram for you guys.
That's right. You can see the house from Knives Out. But anyway, watch
Wow.
Knives Out. Watch Knives Out again. And if you've already seen it twice, watch it a third time. There are so many details in this movie that are so fun to watch. It's a great cast of characters. It's a great story,
Well-written.
even well written,
Yes.
very
Excellent
funny,
direction.
Yes.
incredible cinematography. You know, you watch it every time you watch it, it gets better because even when you know the story, you know what's going to happen. You see little details and you see things that are like, oh yeah, of course. You know, it's great. Watch it again.
It's just
And
a
if you
banger.
guys have already seen the movie, let us know on Instagram or comment on YouTube if you already knew what was going to happen within the first 10 minutes, like I did,
That's right.
or at least you knew who the
If the dogs
killer was.
give it away,
dogs gave it away.
the dogs gave it away. They did. That's my one qualm with the movie. But you know, what are you gonna do? It's still okay.
Is it
I'm
rating
not mad
time?
at it.
I think it's rating time.
I think so. It's kind of hard to talk more about this movie, so I think we'll make it a little short one anyway.
Hey,
How's that
Yeah,
sound?
rating
I'm fine with
time.
that.
Okay. Who's going first?
Blake.
Me. I go first.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 9.
Whoa.
Starting off strong.
Yeah.
whoa,
It's just
I should probably pull up the
I
ratings.
don't often find movies that I want to rewatch, and I know if I do rewatch it, again, yeah, I'm gonna see those details that I missed through the first watch, and
Yeah.
I think one of the best thing about this movie is that, yeah, great cinematography, great story, and like it's consistent. So when I go back and look for those details, I'll be able to find them because they thought it out so much.
Right.
And like, yeah, you're talking about how they even in that one scene, you know, they took 3 weeks on it or whatever. So
Right. To just
yeah,
get that all done.
yeah.
Yeah, the four of us should get together and watch it again over the summer. May I ask, is why it's a 9 and not a 10? Is there like something you have a problem with?
10's a perfect movie, and I haven't found that yet, I don't think.
Okay, that's fine. I just was curious if there was something that you disliked about it.
I mean, I don't know. I guess nothing big stands out to me, which I guess is a plus. But yes,
Right.
not a. And again, yeah, I need to see more movies before I can say anything is a 10.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next?
Zach.
I got it ready. I'm gonna hit it with the hard 8.
Oh, an 8. Okay, why's that?
I think it's really good, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think about like, see, because I think it's obviously really well made,
Right.
and it's got a lot of great stuff to offer, but it's also not the kind of movie that like it's an entertaining movie, but like I don't know, when I think about movies that are like 10 movies for me, they're like movies that like make me think about like life and like I don't know, existential like questions about like a lot of things and make me think for a
thinking about
while. And I feel like
Studio Ghibli.
no, I'm actually not thinking about Studio Ghibli.
I'm thinking about Soul.
What do you think?
Yeah,
about?
like a movie like Soul. I mean, I don't. Soul's not my favorite of that variety, but I don't know. I just that's just a personal preference thing for me.
Right.
But I mean, it's well made. It's an 8, which is on the upper echelon of the scale.
All right, Cameron, I'll go last.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I think the only qualm that I have with it is I think it's too obvious that it's Chris Evans, and I think because I tend to stick with my gut, and if you watch that movie and you tend to stick to your gut, like that's your first thing to go with, you already figured it out. If you watch the first 10 minutes of the movie, you're like, it's Chris Evans, and you stick with that the whole movie,
Right.
you're like, it was
Right,
so obvious that it was Chris Evans the entire time.
Right.
But I thought, yeah,
Know what you mean.
I think it has probably some of the most rewatchability out of all the movies that we watched so far. Cinematography was great. Daniel Craig is the greatest character in this movie, in my opinion. I think he's fantastic. I love that he'll be the connection between all the movies. That'll be amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
All right, I'm going 10 out of 10. This movie makes me so unbelievably happy every time I see it, no matter how long it's been since I've seen it, whether it's like a week or because it's literally been a week since I last saw it, or like a year, and it's so funny. It's so well written, so well shot. There are definitely problems in it, but I have never seen a perfect movie, right? I've seen a lot of movies And I've seen almost every movie has a lot more problems than this one does. And I know exactly what you're saying, Zach, that it doesn't really make you think about life. But my personal preference in movies is absolutely entertainment, right? So I do find
that's
entertainment.
super fair.
Right. And I do find entertainment and stuff like that. Like, I like thinking about, not that Inception is like the craziest movie. Speaking of, I watched Tenet, and what the fuck did I watch? I have no idea.
Tenet?
It was Tenet. Yeah. It was like 2.5 hours of what the fuck. I have no idea what I watched. But I find a lot of entertainment in movies, and that's what I watch them for. And this movie is one of, if not the most entertaining movie I have ever seen. And it has that rewatchability. It's something I can keep going back to and be entertained every single time. And that's why I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
All right. Well, that puts it
Very cool.
above Trial of Chicago 7 by 0.3.
Oh, shit, really?
Trial of Chicago 7, because we averaged
Wait.
for Zach's score at a 35.7 out of 40. Knives Out has a 36 out of 40. The highest rated movie we've done so far.
Hell yeah. It's a great movie.
Wait, this movie beat The Last Airbender? What?
Somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how a 36
How'd that
out of
happen?
40 beats a 1 out
You
of 40.
guys give it
Oh.
give it zeros?
Yeah,
Did you
so
all
I
give
want to
it
address
zeros?
this. I actually do want to address this. I want to update our Avatar score because Blake, we assumed Blake would give it a 0, but Blake,
You guys all gave it zeros? Seriously?
I gave it a 1.
I gave it a 0 because there's nothing redeeming about that movie.
What Blake give it?
A 2.
No, I gave it a 2. Okay.
So we
I mean,
assumed,
honestly, that's probably the fairest score. I'm just blinded by rage.
me too. Same
Well, yeah,
here.
I
But
haven't
so we
seen-
assumed it was a 0, but our real score ends up being a 3 with Blake's 2. So,
Okay, that doesn't really change a whole lot. It's still at the bottom.
Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously, but I thought
Firmly
we might as well
below
kind of put it in.
King Kong versus Godzilla with a
Spin the wheel.
9.75 out of
Spin the
40.
wheel.
Yeah. If I could say one thing about Knives Out, it would be watch it. It's a good movie.
Spin the wheel.
Agreed.
Now it's
Second.
time for my favorite part.
Let's get
spin
some
that
anime on the
wheel!
board, baby.
We get
Oh,
to
I know. We haven't gotten any anime yet.
Anime.
spin
Any
this
Ghiblies.
MF wheel.
Here we go.
Spirited away.
La La Land.
Oh, shit. Let's go. Blake, you need to watch La La Land.
Y'all, I'm fucking missing next week.
No,
No.
you're not. You have to. You have to watch it.
I'm gonna
So-
hate watch it.
Many, if not all of you, don't know this, but Blake refuses to watch La La Land out of principle. I don't really know why.
Why, Blake?
It's a good movie.
No. Automatic
Okay.
0.
Wow.
I think you're gonna not hate it as much as you think you are. It's really pretty good.
No.
Okay,
That's
That's right.
right.
maybe we'll get
Alright.
some Ghibli soon though.
I'll probably.
I do want to watch.
I don't know if I'm
wanna
gonna
watch
like. I don't know if I'm gonna like La La Land. Let's see.
Have you never seen it?
Have you not seen it?
No.
What?
Cameron, let's
Not-
hate on it together.
You
I'm
guys.
not. I'm not a. I wasn't a fan of the music. Probably because I don't like the way Ryan Gosling sings. But whatever.
I don't like
He
how
doesn't- he
both
sings
of
the
the leads
greatest
sing.
movie of them all.
It's not my favorite movie ever, but it really is
No,
pretty
it's-
good. Plus,
No,
Cameron,
it's
you
fun.
love jazz music. It's all about jazz.
This is true. I do love.
Yeah,
me some
they
jazz.
saved jazz. Jazz is
Right, and-
saved.
Jazz is saved, except maybe it's
mean-
not. And Ryan Gosling sings like once for like 20 seconds in the entire film, so I don't think you need to
Okay.
be worried about that too much.
20
That's
seconds too much.
That's right.
I would agree.
It's the same guy who did the Whiplash, which is a good movie.
is.
That
Yeah,
Just
it's a
saying,
good
movie.
Ryan
Has been made.
Gosling wasn't he? He was also in *Inglourious Bastards*, I think.
He was. He's also in Blade Runner, another good movie. So
good movie.
I'm excited for that. That'll be good. I especially am excited for Blake to watch it because that's hilarious. Finally, she'll watch it.
Debatable.
And I would like to make a special announcement that next week we're going to have Emma Stone on the podcast.
That's right. Emma Stone's on the podcast.
In place of me.
And this week's episode was sponsored by Arby's. We got
This-
the meats
You got the meats. This week's episode was sponsored by Mio Water.
by Spubby.
We-
Beef free.
Mio Water. We
Dude,
flavor the ocean.
I want a quesalupa so fucking bad.
Can we say this? Are we allowed to talk about Taco Bell?
I don't
on the
think we're allowed
podcast?
to talk about sponsors we don't
Or
have.
Nashville hot tenders from KFC. Oh my god.
I mean,
So you just
Dude.
want to go to the Malta Taco Bell is what I'm hearing.
Yes, I want to go to the Taco Bell and KFC in Malta.
The combination Taco Bell and KFC.
This episode is brought to you by KFC
I don't think we're
CIA.
I don't know if
KFC CIA.
I know it's CIA.
This
It's CIA
episode is-
KFC.
That's right. This episode is brought to you by 4 people who have a lot and nothing to say about Knives Out.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Short episode. And Raid Shadow Legends. Short episode. This episode's brought to you by
Audible.com.
Arctic Glacier
Honey.
Cherry
Can we stop?
Gatorade.
By icebergs.
By actual, yeah. This episode's brought to you by the Titanic iceberg, the one that sunk the Titanic.
Thank you.
He's still
All
kicking
right.
all these years later.
That's right. This episode's brought to
This
you
episode
by.
is brought to you by Global Warming.
Stop.
This episode is
Bye.
brought to you
We're done.
by.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, follow us.
Follow us on
things.
Instagram
Oh, yeah.
at S.I.C.K Podcast.
Yeah, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast feed or on YouTube.
Or both.
We appreciate all the love. Give us a review. We like a review. Make
Yeah,
it 5
review us.
stars. Make it 1 star.
Make it 5 stars.
No.
Any
Nothing
review you want.
Nope. Just 5
Absolutely
Make it-
not.
Make it 4 stars. Make it 3 stars. But don't
5
make it 2
stars only.
stars.
I would rather a 2 than a 3 star.
I would rather a 1
What?
than a 2 star.
Why? 2 is a good number. I'd rather have 2 than 3.
Yo.
Because you can.
Okay, this episode's brought to you by Goodbyes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What
Bye.
about 5 stars? Bye.